Scars of Anger. Once upon a time, there was a little boy who was talented, creative, handsome, and extremely bright. He was a natural leader, the kind of person that everyone wanted on their team. The boy had but one blot in his character. He was self-centered and had a very bad temper. When he got angry, he usually said or did some very hurtful things. During this phase of anger, he seems to have little regard for those around him. Naturally, he had very few friends. If this bothered him, he didn't show. Instead, he told himself, "That just shows how stupid most people are." Perhaps to reassure himself that he could never be wrong. As he grew, his parents became concerned about this flaw in his personality and pondered long and hard about what they should do to reform his ways. Finally, the father had an idea. He gave his son a box of nails and a big hammer. He told the boy, "Whenever you lose your temper, just take a nail and hammer it onto the oak boards of that old fence at the back. Okay? Hit that nail as hard as you can." The withered oak boards in that old fence were almost as tough as iron, and the hammer was very heavy. So it wasn't as easy as it sounded. Nevertheless, by the end of the first day, the boy had driven 37 nails into the fence. However, over a period of weeks, the number gradually came down. Holding his temper proved to be easier than driving nails into the fence. Finally, the day came when the boy didn't lose his temper at all. He felt very proud as he told his parents about that accomplishment. As a sign of your success, his father responded with a smile, "You get to pull out one nail. In fact, you can do that each day that you don't lose your temper even once." Well, many weeks passed. One fine day, the young boy was able to report proudly that all the nails were gone. At that point, the father asked his son to walk back with him and take one good look at the fence. "You've done well, my son," he said, patting his back. "Do you notice the holes that are left behind?" The boy realized that the nails had left behind very deep holes indeed. His father continued, "No matter what happens from now on, this fence will never be the same again. Saying or doing hurtful things in anger produces the same kind of effect on others. There will always be a scar left behind. It won't matter how many years pass, the scar will still be there. A verbal wound is thus as bad as a physical one. People are much more valuable than an old fence, my son. They make us smile. They help us succeed. Some will even become friends who share our joys and support us through bad times. And if they trust us, they will also open their hearts to us. That means we need to treat everyone with love and respect. We need to prevent as many of those scars as we can." The father took a deep sigh and looked at his son. The little boy had understood the lesson behind this exercise of hitting and pulling out nails. Everyone gets angry at times. What is important is how you control it so that no one gets affected by it. We ought to be wise enough to spend our time building bridges rather than erecting barriers in our relationship.